I'm also really curious about, you know, because you actually moved out of mom and dad's before me,
Yeah.
technically, and that's a big thing I can see people really being worried about growing up, from transitioning
Hmm.
from being in high school and then moving out, potentially going to school, this and that. I lived with our parents until I was like 21, and then I just moved out like a year ago. But you had a different story. How did that go?
Well, I moved out pretty much right after high school. Um, One of my friends, actually one of my best friends, I was just in his wedding this past weekend.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations
it wasn't.
for being there at the wedding.
Yeah, I was the best man.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
nice.
looked pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Hmm.
But he he just inherited or something, some land with a little house on it, and since we were so good friends, he kept asking me to come out and live with him because he wanted to live not with his parents, but he didn't want to live by himself yet.
Hmm.
And so I went and I lived with him. Rent was $100 a month, and we got free gas.
Oh,
And
dude, that's dope.
yeah, it was really cheap, and it was really good because it was only a half hour away from the house. So if I wanted to go home, it wasn't that big of a drive, and it was closer to work than mom and dad's was. So went there, and then after that, I moved to Ohio for my trade school, my welding school. So I lived on my own there too, and that was paying, rent and gas and electric and water, just everything. So you definitely grow up quick whenever you just get out there and do it.
Whenever
I
your
mean,
best friend inherits a house on land. He's like, yeah,
shut up.
yeah. Just kidding. So, yeah. Go ahead and finish your
So,
statement. Yeah.
I mean, like whenever I was out in Ohio, we'll say that one.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Hmm.
So when I was out in Ohio and I was living on my own,
That was for your schooling.
My schooling,
That was
yeah.
like 9 months schooling or something.
yeah,
What's
nine
it
or
called
10,
again?
10 months. It was Hobart Institute of Welding Technology.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you definitely grow up quick and learn how to budget and how to save and where you can spend money and where you can't. This is actually kind of funny. Uh, when I first got out there, I had no money to my name. I couldn't. It was the middle of winter. It was January, February when I got out there, and I had no money. So little money that I didn't even run my heat in my house because it cost too much. I couldn't afford it. And finally, mom and dad came out to visit me, and as a present, they gave me a little space heater. And so what I used to do was I would plug the space heater into my bathroom because my bathroom was the smallest room in my house. I'd heat it up to 68 degrees, unplug the space heater, and go to sleep with 5 blankets on top of me in my bathtub.
What?
And when I wake
Oh,
up, I'd be
man.
freezing. But that was the only way I could at least fall asleep, was because I would be warm enough that I could fall asleep, and I'd wake up freezing cold with 5 blankets on top of me in
Oh,
my
man,
bathtub.
that's so sweet.
I mean, so I'm not saying that it's easy moving out.
Mhm.
I mean, it's definitely not. But like that, you learn real quick how to spend your money,
Make things
you know,
work.
make things work.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, we're excited. My roommate and I were excited because the cold weather has left us, so we have to run the heater, the heat nonstop. So they'll take that bill down. But now it's hot, so now we're just running this air conditioner. So it just doesn't stop. There's a
Right.
couple days where we'll just keep it just the windows open. That's fine. But we're just like not gonna worry about pinching pennies too much. But sometimes if you have to, you have to. But as far as sleeping like in the cold, I prefer sleeping in the cold than obviously because just
Well,
putting like extra blankets on top usually does the trick. But
yeah, but whenever it's
freezing,
yeah, it's
Like,
not fun.
it's not
I mean,
in a
I remember.
bathtub.
Well, even before I got the space heater, I'd sleep in my bed, and I had every blanket in the house on top of me, and I was still freezing, and the room was so cold you could see your breath in the room,
Mhm.
and the the girl I was dating at the time, she kept getting mad at me because I was telling her that I only eat one meal a day, and it's like ramen noodles because it's all I can afford, and I don't heat my house because I can't afford it. She used to get mad at me because she thought I wasn't doing it because she thought I was doing it because I wanted to save money, not because I couldn't afford it. And she's like, you need to eat. You need to heat your house. It's like, I can't do it. I'm trying. I
So
can't.
how did when did you start? When were you able to start using the heat and eating more than one meal a day? Maybe.
I got a job. I was a pizza delivery boy.
Okay. Oh, so that's because you're going to schooling and stuff. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
I was just straight up schooling and stuff.
Right.
It's not like an internship or anything.
Right. It was a straight up school.
How long was that every day?
The school
Mhm.
was from 7 in the morning till 5.
9 hours.
Yeah.
Just a full day.
Well, you got an hour of lunch too.
Okay.
So it ended up being like 8
Wow.
hours.
So
yeah.
how do you have room for that in a job?
Well, Papa John's, they do late night deliveries, so I'd get off school at 5, go home, shower, shave, stuff like that, and be at work by 5:30, and I'd work from 5:30 till anywhere between 11 to 1 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't fun.
Man, and then
And then-
grind it out the
Yep,
next day.
get up
9
and do it all
months of
over
that.
again. Mhm.
Dude, wow. I didn't realize that about you, man. Hard work. I mean, I realized you're a
Well-
hard worker, but like jeez.
If you didn't know that, there's probably something else you didn't know. To save up for school, I worked 2 full-time jobs. So I had Sports Figures and Sharp Shopper, and I was working Sports Figures 5 days a week, 8-hour days, and then I was working Sharp Shopper 7 days a week, and I just did all that. Every penny that I had, I just put in my savings account, and I was able to pay for school in cash whenever I took the school. But then I didn't realize that I had to use so much money for an apartment and stuff like that, and that's where all the money, freezing, that's where all that came in, because I didn't think about it in my head that I was going to need all that.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought I'd be gold once I got my school paid off, and it definitely helped.